Hi, is anyone there today? If you are, just hop on and say. I thought I was doing a moderation today, but I've got my weeks mixed up. So, seeing as I'm prepared to just have some time out and sit here, why not do another live? It's quite fun at the minute because I'm loving just popping on and seeing if anyone pops on or not. So, if you're out there and you see this, just pop on in the chat and say hi. Or I know some of you are too shy to do that. So just watching the video is great. For those of you who don't catch my lives, don't forget, it's not just going to be doing announcements when I'm on, because I'm just loving the game. It's something so different to what everybody else does, that everyone else says, oh, I'm going to be on in an hour or whatever time. No, I like the fun of just seeing if you're out there. And by doing that, I seem to be meeting some new people as well. So sorry for those of you who want to catch me and like, oh, we keep trying to catch you. It's a game of hide and seek. Catch me if you can. So, hi there. I see some of you are on. So nice to see you. Don't forget to let me know where you're from and what time it is. And also, by going on at completely different random times, someone somewhere will always be able to catch me that can't catch me another time. Unfortunately, there's a lot of channels out there. I would love to join your lives, but they end up about 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning. So I can't do that. But I'm trying to do some more random times so you can catch me. So today I do my usual thing of saying, first of all, what's under the hat, and that will be the subject for today. So what's under the hat today? Well, it's some seeds. These are seeds I got from Texas Janet. These are my seeds I want to sow today. I've sowed the cucumber ones, the 2 types of cucumber. I've just been doing that this morning. I want to go and sow these ones, so I'll probably do that after this. So this is the fennel Florence. This is something I did want to try and grow. So I've read up on it, or I have actually made a video on it, to be fair. And I'm going to do it. I want to know from you all, can I grow it in the kohlrabi bed? Because that would be the perfect conditions for it. Just checking that's not a situation. I'm sure it's fine, but let me know. Okay, so the subject for today, I've made some little notes again, so I make sure I tell you all that I want to say about it. We're talking about multi-cropping and a few other things as well. So those of you who don't catch me on the live, you can still join in reading and listening and catching up and seeing about different growing methods. So firstly, if you have space, try and grow flowers with your vegetables and near your fruit trees as well, because it's pollinating, obviously. So that's probably one of the best tips. Space saving and growing ideas. So for grow some quick growing vegetables, this is something I think is very good to do. You make maximum use of your land doing that. So if you grow in conjunction with your slow growers or your long-term crops, then obviously the quick growing things in between will grow first before the other things come into play. And try to do catch cropping, and you want some quick maturing crops. So some of those quick maturing vegetables, I've made notes of which ones to recommend. Obviously radish, this is a very quick one to grow. And don't forget, guys, don't wait till they're ready and then grow some more, put some seeds in. Be sowing seeds every couple of weeks, so even when they've maybe not started growing, put some more in. Early carrots, lettuce, early early turnips. This is something people don't often grow. And beetroot, of course. This is something I'm growing constantly. All these can obviously be harvested while they're still young. And in your seed catalogues, or when you buy your seeds, try and pick things that say extra early or quick maturing. So that's a good idea, how you'll know which ones as well of other crops. Intercropping. This is basically, as I said, growing quick maturing vegetables between your rows of a major crop. You could grow any of the things I've just said between rows of things such as peas, runner beans, tomatoes, broad beans, leeks and things such as this. So this is a good idea for quick growing vegetables. Hello Peter, hi again. Ah, that's great. What time is it there, Peter? I'm making a nice chart up. So I'm talking about multi-cropping and other things like this today. So if you've got anything you want to say or ask, throw it in. I like to have a subject going so that if I don't get many people hopping on, I've got nice content of things people can learn watching later. Glad to see you have got your live worked out. Yes, I did one the other day and my screen was completely frozen. So everyone said, no, we can see you and you're moving and everything. But I wasn't sure if I was even sitting in the right place. But so that suddenly went bananas. But I'm sticking with these ones at the moment because people said they want to donate as a live chat, super chat. But Jandera Gerwin tells me that you can actually do that in the Streamyard. Peter, 5:17. What time do I have here? 10:17 a.m. here. Yeah, Friday. Yes, it's Friday here. I'm glad you've hopped on again, Peter. That's great. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about vegetables in containers. So vegetables in containers, the one reason for this, even if you've got big land, is it's obviously much easier to control the weeds. So it depends on your land if you've got things that get really bad weeds. So containers are good for that anyway. Also, it's easy to cover containers up if you get frost a lot in your area or you want to bring things in. So containers are good for that. Also, containers are good for growing, say, asparagus, things that go wild and rampant, or indeed mint. Obviously, mint is a terrible invasive plant, so containers are good for that. Obviously, they save a lot of space, and you can grow vertically or indeed fan shape against even a balcony rail is quite a good thing to grow across, or a wall. So these are good containers for balconies, patios and other small gardens. I have anything else to say about that? It's all little notes I make and then I can make sure I say everything. Yes, indeed, containers are great for the cold weather. They certainly are. We're not too bad here. I use a little bit of netting, or for starting seeds, sometimes you need those to be a bit more protected. So yeah, containers are great. Obviously, many vegetables can be grown in your containers. Early carrots are good for containers, preferably the stump-rooted type. Early potatoes, although my potatoes, I tried lots of different growing methods for potatoes. As you can see, I've got lots of videos. I tried so many different ways and saw what was best for me. I'm always talking about what's best for me. Obviously, things may be better for you. Glowed beetroots are good in containers, mustard and cress, cucumbers. I've just put in some more cucumber seeds that Texas Janet sent me, and I'm so scared because they're so precious, cucumber seeds. I did start growing one in my indoor garden and they were fine. Can you grow turmeric where you are? It's not something we really grow here. I'm always happy to try things, and I think that's great. Like I said at the beginning, where's it gone? Janet sent me some Florence fennel, not the herby fennel, it's the vegetable fennel, Florence fennel. I've got a video on that on, I think, Tranquility, Relight's Natural Beauty channel. I haven't grown it before, but it was something I really wanted to grow. So I'll try anything. I always find as well, some gardening people say you can't grow that, or you must grow that, or you must have this soil. It's like recipes. Give things a go, play with it and see. So I'll try anything. Oh, what else? Herbs obviously grow very well as well. Both types. Lettuce, endive, marrows, squash, peppers, aubergines. I find aubergines need a lot of care, so I always, well, I say always, I've just grown them for the first year, but I'm keeping them in containers and a few in the raised bed. Spring onions, spinach, radish, tomatoes, early peas, runner beans, French beans, and obviously, as I've said, if they're climbing things, have a little trellis or something there for them. What else? The deeper the container pots, the better. This gives the plants more room for adequate root development, and soil won't dry out so much. Hi, Sue. Oh, you're a newbie on my lives. Do you know I got mixed up? I was all sorted out what I wanted to do today, and I've got my weeks mixed up. I know Josh is doing every 2 weeks. This is Josh's mum. Oh, Petey, I think you know that, don't you? So I thought it was Josh's live today. So I always go on at 10 because he used to do 10 o'clock my time. And then I know he did switch to 11, but I always go on at 10 just to check he's not doing it early. And I looked and there wasn't any message there, which is really good, letting us know if he's not doing it. And it said, the last live, it said stream 1 week ago. And I know he's doing every alternate week now. I'm like, oh, my calendar here. I've got Josh written in for this week and the week after next. Oh, so I've got my weeks mixed up. So I thought, right, we're going to do a live. Peter says, how long have you been in Cyprus? The reason I read these out as well is because some people who watch it back later don't like to sit and read the comments. They do other things while they're listening. So I always read the comments out. How long have I been here? Oh, where's my bit of paper gone? I've got a bit of paper with all that info. Oh, Lordy, where did I put it? Oh, dear. I had a nice clear up yesterday. Oh, I know, be here. No. I do this, I have a nice clear up, and then I can't remember where I put things. Oh, dear. I'll come back to you about Peter. I'm not very good with dates and numbers and things like that with my brain damage. So I actually write things like that down now. It's a big yellow bit of paper. I'll come back to you on that, Peter. I tell you what, when I find a bit of paper, I'll write the answer in the description below. Where is it? I was sorting out all workaways as well. It was standing up there. I'll find it in a minute. Where are we? Sue, 3:20 p.m. Thank you, Sue. As you may or may not know, Sue, I'm just doing these random times, no announcement. So you must be able to speak Greek or Cypriot language. Thank you for knowing there is Cypriot language, Peter. Some people just assume, and we're not a Greek island, some people think that as well. We're our own separate country. I speak Cypriot. I learnt Cypriot first, and when I first moved out here, obviously the more local village people speak Cypriot. If you go into the main towns, like the touristy places, we learn Greek as a second language out here. It's similar. There are some words the same. They speak a lot slower. We can understand most of what they say, but the Greeks can't understand a lot of what we say. We talk faster and we have different words and different pronunciations for some of it as well. So I actually went to like adult university here, and I did 4 levels of exam out here. So I'm actually can be a translator now. Although I wouldn't do that. I feel if you want a translator or something like that, go to a proper native person. So even if friends come to me and say, can you translate this letter? I'll say, well, I'll tell you briefly what it means, but I'm not going to sit and do a translation because find your neighbours. So that kind of thing. Your parents are Greek. Ah, you used to be in Australia. Yes, there's a massive, not just Greek, but Cypriot community there, isn't there? And in America too. So, as you probably know, Peter Andre, he's a Cypriot and he's got a house out here. So he lives in Australia and he's got a house there. His parents and most of his family are there, aren't they, as well? So, yes. So we're talking about different growing things here. Fruit in containers. You can grow your fruit in container. Use anything at all for containers. Be creative. Or you can even make a herb garden for your kitchen windowsill if very limited space, or hang pots vertically, or use, I'm going to think about making a pallet wood on its side, and you've almost got like shelving. And then I've got workaways coming and they have to work, do some engineering and some like create ideas and that, because they're doing it as an internship, and I want them to look up and figure out how to do all those different watering systems for hanging stuff and drip down and like where it continually circulates. So I'm going to give that to them as one of their projects they have to do. So maybe they'll set it up, maybe not. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, yes, the fruit containers I'm talking about. As with vegetables, site them in any sunny spot, your containers. And remember, the size of the container for fruit is very important. Gooseberries, red and white currants will need 30 centimetres, a 12-inch pot. I'll just read all my notes because I won't remember all the things. Black currants, blackberries and loganberries need 45 centimetres, which is 18 inches. You could grow them at half stand as the first three, while black currants are grown as a stalled bush. It's also possible to grow fruit trees like apples, pears, plums, peaches, nectarines, morello cherries in containers as well. So don't think, oh, a tree, I can't really grow in a container. However, some apples, pears and plums need partners, remember, for cross-pollination. So don't forget that. Start those trees off in 30 centimetre or 12-inch pot and repot them later. So I haven't had much luck with container growing, but I'm going to give potatoes a try soon, maybe. And that's a good try soon. Yes, I was saying earlier before you came on, so I tried potatoes in each and every possible way to grow them, as you can see in lots of my potato videos, and make comparisons. For me, I always talk for me, I found containers were actually one of the least good. Your raised beds would be great for that, as long as you don't mind taking the room for them. But your raised beds, you've got the right consistency, almost that hugel aspect, haven't you, in yours? So I would say if you've got the space for those and it's not going to stop you growing something else, your raised beds would do much better. But give it all go. Why not do a bit in each and you make your own comparisons? That'll give you a lovely video as well. I love seeing comparison videos. What else? Hanging baskets. As I've just said, I want to do different variants of hanging baskets and growing it in vertical ways and having a self-watering system. You've got sweet potatoes in a raised bed. I love sweet potatoes. There were some actually in the ground here when we first came. There was nothing else. I think he'd left them and forgotten, or you know how they re-established themselves. And we had them, but mine doesn't like them, so I should have grown some more anyway. But I need to get some more of those. If you've got a hanging basket, you can water it once a week just by literally lowering it in a tub of water, allow it to become thoroughly soaked, and then lift it out again and let it drip. You can drip into a bucket, but I say why not hang it over another plant and then let the water drip and start watering another plant. I've got that on my patio, that I've got anything hanging up, little pots, but there's always another pot underneath it, and of course drip trays underneath each thing. But if you have mozzies or something like that, make sure once it's all drained through, I'll put it back in the top again. You can do that. Multi-crop vegetables. This is something I wanted to talk about today. Multi-crop vegetables. This is anything that you can plant one thing and produce many others from it. So basically you get a second crop or maybe several crops just from, say, one lettuce, for example. An example I've got here to tell you is about the top leaves of Brussels sprouts will provide spring greens in midsummer. Spring cabbage will produce a second crop of several small cabbages if the stalk is cut across the top after the main head has been removed. Spinach will grow more leaves on side shoots if the flowering stem is removed just before the flower buds start to open. Lettuce stumps left in the ground will often sprout new leaves without further cutting. Winter turnips sown fairly thickly can have the tops cut for spring greens and will provide a succession of new leaves as each lot are cut. Old globe artichoke plants, which are to be destroyed, can have their summer growth blanch first, and then they will produce chard similar to those of cardoons, which are cooked the same way. Now, growing from just one seed or one fruit or vegetable. So there's lots of different ways of doing this. Obviously, I grow from seed, and from that seed, I let at least a third of those things go to seed again, because once I've got the gift of seed, I like to make sure I've got plenty more, because you can have a year if something happens to a crop, or weather, some strange weather, and your crop gets wiped out for some reason, or just some sort of blight. This is another reason I grow all my things in several different areas around my land. If you have that advantage, that's great. Don't grow everything all in one place. I talked about this a little bit on my bug live that I did a little while ago, so check that out. Grow from vegetable tops. So this is where you cut a carrot top off, or you can grow from the top of an onion, but leave quite a substantial bit behind. Some people cut too near, say, a carrot too near the green. So this is something you can do. You just put it on a little dish of water. Some people like to put it on a tissue, but I like to just leave it in a dish of water, and you'll see it root. It's a little bit like you can grow the stones of avocados. You all know how to do that, I'm sure, where you get the big stone and you put the cocktail sticks through, balance it on some water, and it must be sitting partially in the water, and then the roots grow. This is pretty much the same thing for carrots or onion, or indeed pineapple. Pineapple's a great one to do. They're a little bit too high for that. I will try again. I did try pineapple once before, but we can't grow banana in this area, so pineapple shouldn't work, but I'm going to give it another go. Never think something doesn't work once so it won't grow. Give it another go. What else? Oh, splitting onions. Yes, so things like onions. Once you've grown one, grow more from that one. So I've got a video on this channel about splitting onions, and you probably know if you're gardeners, sometimes you get the 2 or maybe 3, or I think in my video I actually found one that was 4. It's like 2 or 3 growing together with lots of the leaves coming out, and you just very gently prise that apart. Make sure you've still got some roots on each, which you should have. They should be there, but just take care doing it. Then plant those out as 2 or 3 separate onions, and there again you've already got 2 from one, so why not let one of those go to seed and then the other one eat? And then obviously, as you know, things like onions, they grow the seeds on the top of the balls, and I've got a video how you collect seeds. I think I've got a video on how you collect the seeds from broccoli. And if there's anything else you want me to do videos on, just ask, and if I know, I'll do it. I've said before, if I don't know something, I say, well, I don't know, I haven't had experience of that, and put you on to someone else that I do know. What else? Oh yes, if you haven't got seeds, another thing you can do, of course, is go and buy vegetables. Now, I always stress, please try and get them from a local market, a fruit market. If you don't have access to that, or you don't have that, then okay, supermarket, look at where you're getting them from, because they normally, I think most countries now have to anyway say what country they're from, so, and variety. But be very careful. I don't want to say a certain type of supermarket name, but be very careful, because there are some of these cheap supermarket companies, and they actually buy them what I call third party. So they've been shipped from somewhere to somewhere to somewhere, and or they've been sitting, they've not gone directly to the country they're selling them. So if it's not a supermarket of your country, then I would advise you don't buy from there. If you do and it works, great, fantastic, but I say what's best for me. So, or of course, if you've got friends or whatever that send you seeds, or have a few plants and then keep some of their seeds, then this is great. So let me know some of your great grow tips and your container ideas. And what have you actually run from the tops of? Have you done that? Sue says, I keep my best plants for seeds. Yes, that's another thing. That's a very good thing to say, Sue, actually. Some people think, oh, that's the best vegetable, let's say, or whatever, and think, oh, I'll eat that one, and then I use the other seeds. But you're absolutely right. So I think that's what you mean. The best ones make the best seeds. That's a really good point there. There's our gardening guru. Oh dear, that's really good. Now I've got a few questions for you. Seeing if you two are from Oz, I actually have a question that, well, a few questions I want to ask Oz. You probably don't know one of them. The first question, and it's because I want to make a video about it, and you'll see when I make the video what it's all about. And if you've got the answer, I'll credit you. We have a program, well, it's an English program, and it's called Dragon's Den. Now in America, it's called Shark Tank. What is it called in Australia? Because I'm pretty sure they have this program everywhere. It's where you have a panel of, well-known entrepreneurs, and people come in with like a business idea, and they have to sell their business idea, and then the panel decide, one of them, if they want to put money into the business. Do you have, I'm pretty sure you have that program. Each country has their own panel, but I need to know the name of the program, or indeed anyone else who sees this video. If you have that program in your country, I just want to know all the names of it, so when I talk about it, oh, you don't know it. Who doesn't know it? I'm sure someone who sees this will know. I want to know the name of that program in every possible country, but I thought Oz particularly, it's a big country of my viewers. The American one, I know Shark Tank, and the English one's Dragon's Den. So they've obviously got similar sort of names for that. Or can you think up a clever name? But anyone who sees this, please let me know what it's called in your country, and please put your country as well, if I don't know who you are, the name of it, and I'll credit you, whether you've got a channel or not. I'll credit your name for helping me, and it's for a video I want to make. It's going to be really interesting. The other Aussie question, which is what I don't think you might know, if you know, obviously you do know Sydney, where you've got the Sydney Opera House. If I'm looking at the Sydney Opera House, to the right of it is like big jetties. There's 4 or 5 coming out into the water. I want to know what the building on the first jetty nearest the Sydney Opera House is, because I've watched a program, it's an Australian program, it's a dancing thing. It's not, so it's not real, it's a dramatisation, but it is of a real story about this dancer. And so it was a real place, but I want to know, is that really the real dance place? I'm not sure. And I also want to know what the other buildings on the piers are. It could be that first one is a film place, a production company place, and they've used it. So I want to know what that building is, if it's really the dance school or not. And also in the film, they go up some steps behind it somewhere. It's quite steep. And there's a house there behind some hedges. And they say that's where the accommodation is for the pupils to stay. I want to know if that's the real place. So if anyone can help me, I've been dying to know this for ages. I even went on the programme chat and asked this, and they're kind of automated answers. It's like, glad you enjoyed the programme. Come again soon. And I was like, no one's really answering those. Try Google. Yeah, I put the name of the dance school in and nothing pops up. You're trying to help me, Sue, bless you. What was my other questions? Oh, gardening questions. I wrote down anything I wanted to have to write things down. I forget what I'm doing otherwise. So, Texas Janet gave me Florence fennel, which I want to go and plant in a minute. I've read all on it, where's best to plant. I've got a really suitable bed, but I've got kohlrabi growing in it. I just want to check if anyone knows, is it all right? Remember, this Florence fennel isn't the herb fennel, it's the vegetable one that grows. It looks a little bit like kohlrabi in a way, I suppose, cross between that and a massive leek. So just before I plant it, I should have gone and asked Janet, really. I might try and find her in a minute if she doesn't hop on. Just checking that's all right. And the other question I've got is, I've grown sweet corn for the first time and been reading that. I'm pretty sure where I've planted it is good. It's about my hip height now, and it's got what I stupidly thought was the sweet corn. Well, I suppose it is. It's the female flowers with all those little corn grain things on. And I know you get the tassels first of the male, then you get these little mazy corn sort of grain things on, which I've got loads of those coming out, which are the female flowers. I've covered it over with a net because I'm thinking there's birds above it, and I'm like, the birds are going to get it. So I don't know what to do now because there's only one of them all that has this. The others haven't. And also I've seen in people's videos, I've seen the planting of it and I see the how to pick it. I don't see any videos of the in-betweeny bit. So I've only seen now when they've properly grown and how to know when they're ready. I know all that. And I see the green leaves round, protecting them. But because mine are quite small, the leaves are all like this, and the female is just all out exposed. Hello, everybody. So, as I say, I've put a bit of net over it. Can you give me any tips or advice what to do now? As I say, there's only one like that. The others aren't showing any form of tassel or anything else because they're all quite small. The smallest ones are probably knee height. I don't know how many there are. There's probably 10, 8, 10, and that's all that was in the packet. So I sewed them all, and I read that you have to group them rather than doing lines unless you've got like loads, a whole field of them. So if any of you can give me hints on what on earth to do with this sweet corn now. Is it something that you can hand pollinate in some way? But as I say, I got no more tassels, and there were only a few tassels. It was funny, one day there was tassels, and then next day I came out and there was all these female flowers going crazy. I've actually filmed myself and oh look, there's all lots of sweet corn. I thought there was just one. So do all those female things, each shoot of those turn into a separate, what do you call it, ear of corn? I just can't see any videos. If any of you know videos, or if you've got one, or if you know of one where it shows me kind of this in-betweeny thing. A lot of growing channels show you like the very beginning how to dig a hole and put the seed in. And I'm like, I kind of need middle stages. Took me ages to work out how I knew when my beetroot was ready. So I made a film on it because I searched and searched and I couldn't find that. So that might be a help for some of you. Make some in-betweeny type videos. So, wow, not seen this before. Josh does lots of week, you may know. Yeah, that was going to be today. That's why I've got all written down what I want to ask. I thought, oh, Joshy, you know. My Joshy, he's so good to me. Yeah. So, yeah, I got it wrong. Tell him I was prepared. Oh, dear. I was looking out for a video from him. He hasn't done one for a little while. Well, not the ones I watch. Oh dear. And so I noticed I popped on obviously to see if Josh was on today, and I see you've just got another one up. I think it's something about playing and painting or something. Sounds fun. I'm going to go and have a look at that one. So yeah, is there anything else you want to know? I don't know where this yellow bit of paper's gone. It's a big yellow bit. I had it up here and I just literally cleared everything off my desk. I want to answer Peter's question. Let me think. I think it's something like we came out here and then we got married, and I think we got married in 2006. Is that right? Oh, it's just paper. I'm such a klutz. I've made a folder of lives, things I want to talk about on lives. So technically it should be that, shouldn't it? Because that's when you're going to ask me these random questions. Where is it? A live video on Dawn looking for things. The only other place it would have been there. It's quite yellow, so I can't miss it. Done with it. What a klutzy. You know what I'm going to be doing this afternoon? Sorry, do I have to go? Been good to catch you. That's fine. I'm glad you found me. It's a game, so catch me if you can. Try and find me doing a live. They're going to be so random and no announcement. So if I don't speak to you before, see you on Josh's next week. Bye. Oh, that's lovely. It's really great to have people I know. I think it was my first one. And there were so many people popping on I knew. And bear in mind, I didn't say I was doing it. I don't think I'm going to beat that one, as in I had so much fun. I think you was on that one, Peter. Can't remember if you was on my first one or my second one. I think you might have been on my second one. But the first one, all these people were popping on. Oh, it was really great fun. It was really good. So it's funny how when I'm sitting here, I can see there's people on watching, but they're not in the chat. So who knows who's out there? And if you don't know me, I'm Dawn and I'm from Cyprus. And my chats are just going to be such different things, different subjects. Sometimes it's going to be gardening and homesteading things. I've done, I think, 2 now about when I was little. So if you want to know more about me, and I'm going to keep them as lives because I don't do so much chats about me if it's not connected with coming to Cyprus or living in Cyprus on my normal videos. Plus, my camera's really messing about. I did a video on that with Colin the cat. I was just filming to see what's happening with the camera, and I show the film at the end as well, and just to show what's happening with the camera. It cuts out after 10 minutes anyway, but it started to do this funny animation. So as what it is my video camera's really old, and you have like a small disc in it, and then we have to take the disc, put it into a program, and it converts the disc. And I think a sort of 10-minute bit takes about an hour to convert. So all these YouTubers say, oh, it takes so long to make videos. Well, you're not doing that. And then that conversion I put on a stick because I can't do the conversion on my laptop. So Mike does it on his laptop because it's a little bit newer than mine. Then he puts it on the stick. I put it in my laptop, which must be one of the first laptops ever. And then I have to edit and do everything from there. So when I was playing it to edit, and I thought it won't need editing because I was just pressing pause between filming all the parts, and it started to do, there's one animation in my editing suite and it does all these squares and does that, and I don't like it, and that's what it looked like. And then another bit towards the end, it does all these coloured things, stripes going down. And I do a voiceover, I show it first edited, and then I show it again after that to sort of show the problems. And I say I didn't put any animation or anything in it, and it's just gone weird. And I talk over it and I say, oh, I think it must be every time I press pause to change position. And then I see a bit and I'm like, no, hold on, I definitely wasn't pressing pause, it's the same bit. And apart from this weird animation-y look, it would also be, I'd say in the video, that say Colin's sitting at the door and then he'd go and drink. And then it suddenly cut back to him sitting at the door again, and then it jumped back again. And I don't know what's happening with it. So I think for now, I'm going to do, if I'm doing long chats or want to talk about things, I'm going to jump on and do the lives. The only problem with this is Mike's a little bit stressed because we pay for absolute minimum internet, and he's saying we're literally almost out of the internet. So that's a little problem, really, doing that. But we'll see what we do. When we have Airbnb guests, we actually pay for a more decent amount per month because obviously their money pays for it and they want internet, and we just have to not use the internet so much when we have guests. Obviously we have no Airbnb guests right now, and I think my workaways, I'm just going to have to say, well, we are rural, sorry, can't use the internet because we can't cover the cost of if you use it and we use it. So they are supposed to be on an internship anyway, so they're supposed to be working and going out and about in their free time. So I have to think about that and see what we're going to do about that. So any questions I could actually answer? Like, I've got no idea where this bit of paper is. Can't be far, it's got to be right here somewhere. It's a bit annoying. So any questions? Anyone else want to hop on and say hi? I did do a Streamyard. I did a Streamyard, and it's actually a bit of a palaver because I don't want to put the jump into Streamyard link on this public one because I've seen other channels where there's a lot of trolls out there right now and raiders, as they call them, and so I don't want to do that. So I want to, if you want to come on, send it to you, the link, if I'm aware who you actually are. And as I say, really slow laptop. By the time I go up to an email, send the email, I tried to do it, send the email to someone with the link, and then try to come back into all this. It's so slow. And so I think Gerwin's given me an idea how to do it, that I'll actually hope that someone comes on that I've got the links to, like I've got their emails already saved, and just send one of them a link that's a moderator, and then Gerwin said then they can send it on. But that's no good a day like now when there's no moderators up there, because I would just send it to a moderator and they can do their thing for me. So yes, so I'm not sure about the StreamYard. I'd like to do that maybe for, as I say, the 2K. I will announce that one. It just takes me so long to put an announcement up. But I'm thinking about if I do this community post for an announcement for that one. But I'm not sure how many of you actually look at those community posts. But maybe I'll do that. That might be an easier way of notifying you. But as I say, these YouTube lives, I've decided I'm not ever going to say when they are. This is so much fun, just to jump on. And I'm different. I like to be different to all the other channels out there. I'm not in it to, oh, got to make sure there's loads of people in the chat. No. As I say, I might meet different people by doing it like this. People just jump on sometimes and look if there's a live going on. So I'm going to stick with these, not telling you when I'm going to be on. Hide and seek, come and find me, catch me if you can. So that would be pretty fun to do that way as well. And I do appreciate all the comments I've had recently on my video called Team Awesome or Meet Team Awesome. And that was a video not just thanking all my moderators, but doing a video promoting all their channels and showing you pictures of them. I think it's nice to actually see the pictures of people, because you've got no idea. There's someone that's following me at the moment. I don't know why, but I assumed it was a man, and the title doesn't give it away. And I really thought it was a man, but it's a lady. So I think a picture's important, and you sort of feel you know them a bit more. So I did this video linking all their channels, and people, not only people that are those moderators, but other people well said this was a wonderful idea, this was brilliant. And I put a reply, yes, when you think how many millions of YouTube channels there are, no one's done that before. No one's thought. Yes, occasionally you have people at the end of their stream say, oh, thanks for the moderators, but I've never seen them listed or done thanked in such a way. But as I say, I'm different. I like to be different. I don't like to follow what's already happening out there, the ways things are done. And a lot of people say my channel content's different. Yes, it's gardening, but it's done in a different way. So, and that's why I call my channel the lovely long name, New Beginnings, My Everyday in Rural Cyprus, because it's exactly what it says it is. It's anything to do with my life in Cyprus. As I say, the lives may be other things, and that's why I'm keeping those as lives. So there we go, really. That's what I had today. I'm trying to do a subject on each video, just in case there's no one actually on live, so it's content. This is something else I wanted to do. Yes, we'll chit chat as we go, but some of those lives, if you like the ones just nothing and saying hello, and that's great. There's so many of them out there, and I don't want people to think I'm knocking those ones, because I know a lot of people just like company, and that's what they go on the lives for. But I'm just stressing the point that I want to try and be a little bit different in my lives. So I want to actually have content for those who want to watch it back at a later time, and for you to know that it's worth checking out each live, because each one will be completely different. So don't forget, hit that thumbs up if you're watching either now or later. If you've got any questions, or indeed if you've got a subject you want me to talk about in the future, then pop it down. Peter, I will find that bit of yellow paper and I will put the answer in the description. So it was, how long have we lived here, I think, wasn't it? So I was so prepared for it. But as I say, tidying up is a problem here. I think, oh, that would be a better place for that. And then I'm like, where was that? I won't say tidy up, it's reorganising. That's it, reorganising. I love reorganising. The only thing I don't like is paperwork. I really hate paperwork. And I'm trying to be pretty paper free. I recycle all my paper. So I've said many times before, if we've got an old envelope or a letter comes, I'll use the other side of it. That's what I've got now. So there's a bit of scrap paper, and I've used the other side to make my notes of what questions I want to ask. So that's reused twice, if it's just scrap anyway. And then I normally shred it by hand, which you may have seen on one of my Home Alone videos, the last one I've done, Home Alone 3. Shred it by hand and use it in a hoogle bed. If you've got pets, just check what your paper is and your ink, obviously. But if you've got pets, shred it down. Can it be used for cat litter? Maybe. But as I say, use it in the hugel beds, or you could just use it as compost. So I try and use everything. And as you can see, I've got 2 whiteboards. There's actually 3 there. There's one on the actual stand itself, which is behind the big one, you can see. And then Mike made me this really big one, which is my postings. And then I've got this little one where I just write, like at the moment, it's what to do this week, because I forget what I'm supposed to be doing. So there, the board that's actually behind this big one is where I do my Greek filming. I film my Greek videos, so that's there. So as you can see, I don't use paper if it's like just scribbling something down or whatever. I'm trying to be a bit more paper free, really. I don't like to go out and buy paper. So when I've run out of scraps, I tend to switch to the board a little bit more. And but I've only got a couple of board pens left, and they are running a bit dry. I have actually said in my Greek videos, ones I haven't posted yet, because I'm a few ahead of posting those, because I don't like to post them too often, because I know they're not for everybody. But the ones I haven't posted yet, I ended up writing 2 or 3 times over each word. So if any of you are able to send me those, the marker pens, like the board pens that you can wipe off, I'll be really grateful of those, and lots of colours, because in the Greek videos I actually show the genitive, accusative, nominative. I do them in different colours, so it's easy to see and follow. So if any of you can send me some marker, like whiteboard pens, that would be really grateful of that. So I think I'll leave it there for today. And don't forget, as I say, guys, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and you need to also hit that notification bell to know when these lives are on. And as I keep saying, it's hide and seek. You won't know when I'm on. Look out for that notification and catch me if you can. And I'm going to see how many times each person catches me. So I think, Peter, you're winning at the moment. Are you and Jandera channel, Gerwin? I think you've both been on twice. So make a little note of it, and let's see who catches me the most. So until next time, guys, have a great day, and Meraki. Bye for now.